Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a Sacred Union Energy Update. Today we have a full moon in Sagittarius. It's also the strawberry full moon. I believe we also have a lunar eclipse marking the first of many astrological events going forward. We have a couple of eclipses, 2 eclipses in June. It's the start of eclipse season, and we have a number of portals opening up throughout the summer. So there is a lot that is happening. June, we had channeled, was going to be a pivotal month for action. There's a lot of forward movement. Now, I had to take a step back from the channel because my energy was a little bit all over the place, especially with everything going on collectively, not just within Sacred Partnerships Collective, but globally collective. With everything going on, I felt called to really take a step back and balance my own energy. I had a lot going on in my personal life. I had a lot going on in with clients. So something had to give, and unfortunately that was the dailies and these collective readings. But also it was interesting because every time I went to do a collective reading, it was like Spirit kept pulling me back and saying it wasn't time. My mind felt very muddled. It felt very foggy. It felt like every time I even tried to write or channel a post, even for Instagram or for Facebook, I couldn't. Now, writing is my communication. It is a gift that I have. Writing has just always been my form of communication, my medium in which I express myself. And I've always been able to channel through my words, through writing. So when I was blocked in this sense, I knew that there was something bigger happening. And I didn't understand that until last night when I spoke with Spirit and I said, what the heck is going on? What is actually going on? Because I was able to do client readings, I was able to respond to emails, but even those emails, there was something when I was actually writing, responding to emails, where it was like I couldn't channel for you guys who were asking me questions or for you guys who were writing, sharing updates and stuff. I couldn't write in the way that I usually do. I couldn't respond in the way that I usually do. It was very strange. And your energy was needed elsewhere. That's what they're saying to me right now. And that's what they had reiterated last night. Your energy was needed elsewhere. So, especially with everything happening in the world right now, we're going through some very dense, heavy energy. It's a transformation. Revolution is transformation. Transformation is revolution. Going through some major purging because the world as a planet is ascending. And as we know on an individual level, that does not always look pretty. It looks like a lot of grief, a lot of anger, a lot of fear coming up to the surface. Now, as we transmute that individually, we also have to transmute that on a global collective scale. But globally, collectively, that's what's happening now is there's a lot of anger, fear, and just rage and grief coming up to the surface for purging. We are all collectively healing ancestral wounding and trauma in order to shift the planet forward. That's what's happening on a higher level, from the level of the soul's perspective, from the Ascension perspective. So we're all feeling this. We might be feeling this in a number of different ways, but it is a call for compassion. And over the past few weeks, I've been feeling the energy of Mother Mary and Kuan Yin, and they're both bringing forth an energy of compassion for the self and compassion for the world, compassion for others. And for example, I've always been an advocate. I've always been outspoken. Again, writing and communication has always been my medium. I was sharing when it comes to animal rights, when it comes to human rights, when it comes to indigenous rights, the water protectors. I was right there sharing everything. Mental illness, chronic illness, you name it. I have been citing, supporting everyone because that's what's in my heart. Support for everyone who are feeling oppressed. Those who are the downtrodden is what I've always kind of referred to it as, because I've been there, and not everywhere, but that's part of why I'm here, to help uplift the planet and others in that way. I was called to take a step back. That didn't feel right to me. That didn't feel good to me, I should say. And I asked Spirit, I said, why? Why are you having me take a step back at this pivotal moment in time? And they said, your role has shifted, Susan. There are others who are taking up the mantle of communication, of sharing their voice. Your job right now is to transmute the energy, and that's what I was doing the entire week, just trying to balance out my energy, keep my vibrations high. I still shared, I still, on my own personal Facebook feed, even on my Instagram and on Facebook, I still, made my own support known. But for the first time ever, when something was important to me, I wasn't able to communicate. And that was very disconcerting for me. It felt very much like a disconnect. But when I had my conversation with Spirit last night, they said it was because we needed you elsewhere. And what they told me was that everybody has a role to play. Every single person on this planet has a role to play. And that is what's happening with this ascension process. That is what's happening on this global ascension scale. Is people are waking up, and they might not be conscious of their role, but they are starting to take part in their role. Whether it's on the front lines with protests, whether it is on the side of the oppressors even, because that is duality. You need both roles in order to ascend duality, because what happens with duality is it's not just two sides. You create a third. You create a third solution. And what we're seeing now is that solution being born. There are those who are sharing. There are those who are vocal with communication. There are those who are helping with finances. There are those who are helping energetically. And that was the role that I was playing in this part. In the past, I've always been vocal. Now my role was energetics. And that's what had shifted for me. And it was very disconcerting because I'm not used to that. But you might be finding that as well. I was very exhausted this week. And they told me that was because I was maintaining that balance, trying to keep that high vibration, and because there was a lot that was going on in the ethereal realms. There's a lot that was going on interdimensionally. So you might have been experiencing transmuting in dream state. You might have been experiencing, even if you're awake in the daytime, you might have had periods where it felt like you either needed to nap and rest, and so you did. I hope you did. Listen to your intuition and follow what your body and your soul needs. You might have been called to rest. There also might have been periods of what I called blackout. It felt like I was awake, but I didn't feel entirely grounded. I didn't feel entirely here. That happened towards the beginning of the week, where it felt like even though I was awake, even though I was at my desk, and I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't working with clients or anything. I was just at my desk, and I wasn't entirely here. And I wasn't in meditation. I literally wasn't doing anything, but it felt like I was elsewhere. And I was. I mean, that's what Spirit's saying. I was. So you might be feeling that. It felt almost like a blackout where I don't remember anything. Time passed, but again, it wasn't meditation. It was just time hopping. I was moving through dimensions. I was moving through timelines. So energetically, especially for those of us who are on this ascension journey, who are awakened to the ascension journey, you might be experiencing some of this. It's because you have raised in your vibration, you have been on this ascension journey, and you have the tools to be able to hold the energy. You're able to hold the light, and that is what is so important right now. I'm going to point you guys, because Spirit had been reminding me, back in March when the whole pandemic started, I was called to channel a series of 3 messages about holding the light and unity consciousness and what this is all about. Because remember, what we're seeing playing out in the 3D physical world, it is very real as far as our collective reality, but there is so much more that is going on beneath the surface, and we really have to remember that. We really have to remember the soul's perspective. We have to remember the energy behind all of it. What's happening in the physical 3D world is important. There is suffering, there is anger, there is grief. And we have to be aware of that, be compassionate of that. But we also have to have that awareness that there's a lot more that is going on the soul level. And that, again, everybody is playing their part because the earth as a planet, as a whole, is ascending. We are aligning to a higher truth. We are aligning to a higher way of being. We are aligning to love. And it might look like chaos and it might look like confusion right now. But that's where we, having that awareness through this ascension process, have to remember that alignment with love within ourselves, to hold that space and hold that balance. Whatever it is that we're doing in the physical 3D, however it is that we are supporting that unity consciousness, however it is that we're supporting that love in the 3D, again, whether we're on the front lines, whether we're donating, whether we are helping to heal energetically, whatever it is, whatever role it is that we are called to play, it's so important to remember that we are still the embodiment of love. And that is the most crucial aspect of anything that we do here. We talk about this in sacred unions. We talk about mission work and how your mission can play out in the 3D in a number of different ways. But your true mission is to be that embodiment of love. That is who you are, to be that Christ Sophia consciousness. It is to be that embodiment of wholeness and love and light and unity with others, because we are never separate from others. We are unique in the way we express ourselves, in our human nature, but we are never separate from others. And the way they had described it to me was beautiful. They said, your individual threads in the same tapestry, that tapestry is God, the universe, source, whatever it is that you want to call that beautiful, pure source energy. We're all individual threads within that same woven tapestry, that tapestry being God. We are never separate, and as such, we're never separate from each other. We create the beautiful picture of creation, making up that beautiful tapestry of creation. And it's really important to remember that there is no division. The 3D dense energy creates division. That's that duality, but we are ascending beyond duality. And what they had channeled to me, and I'm going to mention it now. I'm not going to mention it fully because it's going to be in part of the teaching series that I'm still creating. But what they had channeled to me was duality is not either extreme. Ascending or transcending duality is creating a third. I'll just, you know what? I'll bring it up again. Okay. This was that I got back in May. They said the goal is not merely to transcend duality, but to understand that it is a merging of energies. You have come to experience duality throughout many lifetimes so that you might then know union and oneness with all living consciousness. To transcend duality is a misidentification as a means for your ascension. To transcend duality consciousness is to become aware of the merging of energies to create a third energy. And that's what we've been talking about on this channel. That Trinity energy, which they started with the Three of Pentacles, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, and the Divine itself. But it merges together to create oneness. This is Trinity consciousness. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, Child, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, Source energies. The dualistic viewpoint of your past experience was one of separation. You're remembering not only union, but creation. So I'm going to post that on my blog, on my website, and put a link to Instagram and on Facebook. And we'll also have that in the teaching series going forward, that channeled message. But it feels really important to understand that we are really rising out of that dualistic nature, us versus them, you versus me, to become we. It doesn't mean that we're not still I. That is the I am presence. The I am presence is oneness. The I am presence is I am still my unique self, having this unique human experience, but that human experience is part of creation for the whole. That is unity consciousness, recognizing that we are all interconnected. We are all bound through that same love energy, connected through that same love energy. We might be having individual experiences, but those experiences make up the whole. We are all playing a beautiful part. We are all playing a role here. And on that thread, to say that I had to take a step back this week because my role had shifted from vocal advocate to holding the energies and transmuting the energies. And I'm feeling a lot lighter right now. I'm feeling a little bit better. So we're going to see what is coming in for these sacred partners. We haven't done a sacred union energy update, so we're going to see what's going on for these sacred partners. All right, so we have a full moon. It's a full moon in Sagittarius, so what you might be experiencing is continued release. And what they're actually saying is this is going to continue throughout the summer, where you're going to be continuing to release any outdated beliefs, any outdated mindsets, habits, any relationships that don't feel in alignment with you. Now, when we say relationships, that could be friendships, family dynamics. But remember that with friendships and family dynamics and even relationships, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're parting ways with these people unless that's what you're guided to do, unless that's what you want to do. Especially with family, it's the old version of who you were that is changing. And as such, your family dynamic is going to change. So, for example, if you have a mother or father figure who saw you, for example, as still a child, that is going to be shifting. Perspective is going to be shifting. Your relationship is going to be shifting to one of adult parent. That's just an example of how you don't have to necessarily remove people from your life. It's the energy that shifts, the dynamic that shifts, because it's what shifts within you. If you're still looking at yourself as a child, if you're still feeling codependent on parents, for example, then when you shift out of that, then your relationship with your parents change to one of mutual understanding, one of mutual respect, mutual communication. But it's by you healing the energy within you, the perspective within you, that helps to facilitate that shift. There are some who will be incredibly toxic, where you are seeking space, physical space from them. But for the most part, it's going to be energetic, where the energy is going to shift in your relationship, creating an entirely new dynamic. They're calling me to say, think about your divine masculine or your divine feminine. Take it as it resonates. Think about your divine counterpart and how in the past, you had one iteration of your connection. It was because you had all this karma that was coming up between you guys, all this baggage, that you weren't toxic, but your relationship might have felt a little bit unhealthy because you were showing each other your reflections. You were showing each other where you needed to heal. And now that healing has been taking place, there's a shift that is occurring within your connection. That is going to ripple out to every other connection that you have, where the dynamic changes, where the connection changes, where it becomes of a higher caliber. You'll find more balance, you'll find more peace, you'll find more harmony, and most importantly, you'll find more love. So as it changes within you, the energy shifts within you, it'll shift within you and your connection with your counterpart, and that'll ripple out to affect all of your other relationships as well. So keep doing the inner work. Keep doing the releasing. There might be layers that are coming up that were still stuck in the subconscious. They're coming up to be recognized and healed and cleared. So keep allowing that healing and that clearing. You have the tools now not to hold on to the energy. You have the tools now to have that awareness of it, to work through it, and to let it go. Forgiveness is what they're saying. Forgiveness is a major component right now. Okay. What I'm also hearing is this is a full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a very fiery energy, and especially with we have 6 planets going retrograde right now. So this might feel like a very destabilizing time, but that's where you come into more balance within yourself. Now is when you connect more deeply with yourself, within your own inner temple. So if you're feeling disconnected or if you're feeling a little bit unstable, keep connecting deep within yourself with your spirit team, with source energy. Don't look so much on the outside of yourself, whether this is your divine counterpart or finances, material things, home life, family. Don't look so much on the outside. It's a time to really go within and connect back to yourself to maintain that stability. It is a time of action, which might be creating some of that destabilizing energy, because that action sometimes, that call for action sometimes doesn't jive well with the call for going within. But that's where that balance is coming into play as well. Really listening to your intuition, really listening to the call of your soul, really listening to your own inner wisdom and spiritual guidance from source to take action. It's not about taking action from the ego. It's about taking action from the inner wisdom within yourself, from that inner temple. So keep going within. Keep following your intuition. Keep following your heart space. Keep allowing that heart to open and open and open and open. Keep removing any walls, those blocks. Keep opening up your heart, because that is what is going to create transformation. All right, we're going to use the Monology deck. I'm going to do, that's too many. I'm going to do an overall energy here for these divine counterparts. We're going to get some tarot, and we're going to make this is going to be a long reading. I already channeled so much, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll just play it by ear, as we do. All right, Spirit, what do you have to say for these divine counterparts, for these sacred unions? What's going on for these sacred unions? Keep clearing the energy. They had me knock on the deck. That's how I clear the energy of the deck, if it feels stagnant and if it feels stuck. And what they're saying is that's actually a message for my viewers. Keep clearing the energy, especially your chakras. Especially in my client readings, there's been a lot of stagnation and blocked energy within the chakras, especially the lower level chakras, the sacral, root, and solar plexus. So keep clearing those chakras. Keep clearing out your energy. That's really important at this time, so that the energy can continue to flow through you. That's what's really important here, for the energy to continue to flow. Thank you. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo, and your commitment is being tested. I'm called to this one as well. And yeah, see, it's time to release negativity, because that is what's creating the transformation. Scorpio energy, death energy, which is transformation. So keep releasing your energy. Keep clearing, so that the energy can flow through you, so that the love can flow through you, that open heart. Okay, so we have you are good enough and your commitment is being tested. So here's something that happened with me over the weekend. I spent a beautiful weekend with my Divine Masculine, which there was a lot that came in that I began to understand about masculine and feminine energy, that as soon as I'm able to articulate it, I do wish to share, because it feels important. It was really, I felt inner union within myself. I really felt my Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energy align. And that was really reflected outside of myself. But what happened was, I really committed to my Divine Masculine. I had been wavering. I had been in a place of, trying to protect my heart. And I recognize this now as ego, where I was going back and forth. I was saying, well, I'll just be on this journey by myself if he doesn't want to be a part of this with me. And I'll just, if he's not my person, then I'm sure somebody else is, because I'm feeling this energy with somebody. Or, this was been going on for the past 2 years or so. And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good, because I knew in my truth that my person's my person. In my heart, that had always been my truth. Now, remember, Divine Masculine energy is an energy, but it's embodied in another person. You contain that energy within you. You contain both masculine and feminine energies within you. It's not outside of yourself. That's what inner union really is all about. And when you come into that inner union, that is when you really see that embodied in the other person, reflected back in the other person. And so when I said to him, and I said to myself, I said, listen, I know you're my person. I know that you are my Divine Masculine, and I'm committed to this. Does that mean that I'm going to stand for anything that doesn't align with me? No. But it was about not letting myself waver anymore, not letting myself doubt, not letting myself question, not letting myself feel like I wasn't good enough for this connection or for my person, when the truth is you always are for your divine masculine, for your divine feminine. You are always good enough because you are one. And that is really what we are experiencing at this point in our journey, our sacred union journey. What this collective is really beginning to understand is that you are never separate because you are always one. Now, what happens is we get very confused because we look at the physical and the lack in the physical. And that's what creates the doubt. That's what brings up all those fears. That's what creates the wavering. But when you commit to yourself and your own soul growth, you're also committing to your person. You're committing to this journey. You're committing to your connection. It's when you commit to becoming the best and highest version of yourself. And that's when you come into inner union, when you balance out the masculine and feminine energy within you, and when you clear out the distortions within you. Because again, you hold both masculine and feminine energies within you. The divine, even though you're in two separate bodies, having two different human experiences, you are still one energetically with your counterpart. So your masculine, your divine masculine in that other body is the divine masculine energy within you. And you being divine feminine, you're the divine feminine energy within them. It's just the distortions that have to be cleared out. And that's from societal conditioning and past karma and heartbreak and past lifetimes that the distortions arise. And that's what we're really clearing out, becoming the highest embodiment of ourselves, our higher self, the highest embodiment of love, the highest embodiment of our true nature, our true energy, which is divine in nature. That is the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And so you might be having old fears come up. You might be having doubts come up. You might be having, if you're not seeing forward movement in the physical, you might be saying, well, maybe he's not my person. Maybe he doesn't love me. Maybe he's, you're just questioning yourself. But it's calling for you to go deeper within and ask yourself, are you still battling your own self-worth? Are you still battling your ego? Are you still looking outside of yourself for what you already hold within? And when you really anchor within, when you really feel it within yourself, that is when you feel it and see it in your outside world, because the outside physical reality is just a hologram of everything that you hold within. It's a projection of everything that you hold within. Now, this isn't easy. It's not easy. Ascension is not easy. So be kind to yourself. That's where Kuan Yin and Mother Mary's coming in. They're saying be compassionate. Be kind to yourself. This is a very vulnerable, sometimes difficult process to process those lifetimes of grief and trauma and healing and conditioning and programming, to remember the truth of who you are with your sacred partner, the truth that you are never separate from your partner and you're never separate from source energy itself. You are completely whole within yourself. Just keep going within and asking yourself, is there anywhere where I'm still holding myself back, where I'm not giving myself that self-love and that compassion that I've been seeking from my counterpart, where I am still questioning my journey and not committing to my journey for myself, where I'm still focused on this other person? Keep drawing back to yourself, because as you draw back to yourself, that's when you become one with your partner, and that's when you see it manifest in the physical. Okay, this might be an Ascension energy update. I'm not sure what I'm going to label this yet. So let's see. I'm getting called to traditional tarot, so let's use this deck. All right, where are these sacred partners on their journey? I like to see that 9 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles on the bottom. See, What you hold within yourself, this is emotional fulfillment. This is wishes. What you hold within yourself is then projected into your physical reality. You create your physical reality. You create your physical environment. You create your world. You manifest your world. They reminded me, you also have a collective reality. You co-create with others. You also have a collective reality. It's when everybody's in alignment with that same vibration, with the same focus. That's when you create a collective reality. But by you holding a vibration, you holding that high vibration, you holding that vibration of love, you holding your wishes and your manifestations, you create that within your outside reality as well. You co-create with others and you co-create with the universe. It's like this. Say you want to manifest a house. You're co-creating not only with the universe to bring in those opportunities to you, but the universe is you. The universe is your person. The universe is the people around you. The universe is in everyone. That is unity consciousness, recognizing that. And so if you're trying to manifest a new house, then there are other people who play a part in that. There are realtors. There are people who are going to buy your old house. There are people who are selling your new house. There are bankers who are going to be, helping you with your mortgage. There are going to be landscapers who are going to be, or construction workers who are going to be helping you make your house your home. This is you co-creating with others. And they're, in turn, manifesting you as clients, aligning with you as a client. You're in co-creation with everybody around you. Everybody is playing a beautiful role because the universe is in all of us. Okay. Wow. You guys, this is what happens when I don't channel for a week. It gets heavy. It gets big. All right. Let me get another shuffle, and then what are we doing? We're going to talk about these partners. Spirit, tell me about these sacred partners, divine masculine, divine feminine. What do you need us to know for sacred partners, divine masculine, divine feminine? Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yep. This is exactly what I was getting. Okay. This is going to be an Ascension energy update. Remember that we talk about sacred unions here because this is the path that you're on to Ascension with your sacred partner for this sacred union. What I heard as the first card was coming out, we have 2 of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the Fool. What I heard was that this is the brand new start. This is your point of convergence, which is launching you into the next phase of your ascension journey with your counterpart. For a while now, you have been on individual paths, whether you were in physical separation and lack of communication with your counterpart, or whether you have been with your counterpart this whole time. You have been on an individual journey of soul recognition. Soul reawakening is what they're saying, soul remembering. Now what's happening is you are joining together. You are walking through a brand new doorway, a portal is what they're saying, in order to join together with your sacred partner. And what you're doing is you're manifesting your 10 of Cups, which is bringing in a new beginning. So the 10 of Cups is, again, that wish fulfillment. It's holding that vision for the highest vibration, the highest manifestation, your best and highest timeline, what your Eden looks like, what your oasis looks like, what your abundant life looks like. What is it that you want to manifest for your best and highest life? That is the 10 of Cups. That's holding the vision. And as you and your sacred partner come together with this 2 of Wands, giving me an energy of just walking through the doorway together, walking through the portal together, just embracing the world in your hands. It's 2 converging here. As you're doing that, what's happening is you're having this brand new start. Taking a leap of faith towards each other together. We've channeled that maybe 6 months ago. Taking a leap of faith towards each other and embarking on a brand new journey together. It's this energy here. This is what they had channeled to me a couple of readings ago. If you have missed it, go ahead and check it out. You guys have been on this sacred union journey together. And it's been, you're always one because you're that one energy, but you might have been a little bit separate because you are on this soul growth journey together. Now what's happening is you're reaching inner union. You're in the process of sacred union coming together. You're reaching inner union, and what happens as you reach inner union, that manifests in your physical connection, in a physical relationship. This is the point of convergence. And now what's happening is you are going into the next phase together. And what they have said is no matter which direction you choose, no matter where you go now, you know that you're always one with your counterpart. You know that you are journeying together in the physical, in your connection, and energetically, because you are one. There is no separation anymore. No mindset of separation is what they're clarifying. And what this creates is this beautiful harmony of the free flow of love. This beautiful flow of love that we've been channeling, the infinite love. Give and receive, and give and receive, allowing love to flow, which is why it's so important that you clear your chakras so that that love, that energy can flow. This is a brand new start here. Spirit, anything else we need to know? Anything else we need to know? Okay, we have the Five of Swords, we have the Seven of Swords, and we have the Hierophant. With the energy that I'm getting here is the conflict, the internal conflict, the deception, the lying, the questioning, the lack mentality. The thief, this card is one of a thief, where he takes, he sneaks away in the middle of the night. With the Hierophant here being a card of ascension for me lately, moving beyond this energy. Moving beyond this energy to a brand new beginning. And with this Thief card, a message has been coming into me lately, and I haven't quite understood why. And what they've been saying to me is, the world is not yours to take. Material things, energy, is not yours to take. It's for others to offer. It's for you to receive, not for you to take. So for you to be in an energy of openness and receiving, allow yourself to receive. When you're just taking, when you're looking at something like, oh, that's mine, I should be able to take that. Or, that should be, we should all be equal, that should be mine to take. That is an energy of control. That is an energy of manipulation. That is an energy of greed. The world is not yours to take. It is for you to receive. So, okay, they're just reminding me of current global events. We're not talking about current global events. We're talking about just energy as a whole. Okay, so I'm not talking about the protests. I'm not talking about the looting. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about energy as a whole. The world isn't yours to take. It's for you to receive. That is what Ascension is all about. It's about being open to that receptive energy. Because if you're just taking, then you're in an energy of need. You're in an energy of lack. You're in an energy of control. And the universe is then responding to that energy with more lack, more desperation, more control. So when you are open to receiving, this thief doesn't need to be in conflict. This thief doesn't need to be sneaking away in the middle of the night, because he will be provided for. All these swords that he's taking, all those swords that he's sneaking away with, he will be given that by the universe. But he has to be open to that. He has to be open to receiving. That is what is happening with Ascension. So when it comes to your sacred partnership, it's not about taking. It's not about forcing the energy between you two. It's about being open to receiving, letting go of the expectation, and just allowing the love to flow into you. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to ask for anything. I mean, ask for it within your heart space. Ask for it within, your manifestations. But you don't have to it's an energy of you don't have to force it. You don't have to grasp for it, because it is naturally yours. The world is naturally yours. There is limitless potential, infinite resources. It just, to our mindset, because of programming, conditioning, we feel like we have limited resources. But the universe is abundant. The universe is infinite. And it might not happen right away. Your manifestation might not happen right away. But when you're in an energy of taking, you're just trying to control the universe. Trust that the universe will provide to you. Just be open to receiving, and you will receive from the universe in any number of different ways. I'll point you to law of attraction and to manifestation. We've talked about this a lot on the channel as well, so I'm not going to go into the law of attraction or manifestation here, or frequency and all of that, because this reading is getting crazy as it is. But feel free to reach out to me if you want to know more. Maybe I'll do a whole video about this, but it's your frequency. If you're in an energy of, I've got to take, I've got to have this, I've got to do this, think about that energy for a minute. Think about how that's just forcing it, and think about how that's just control, and how that control is coming from a place of lack and desperation. When you let go of that, when you just allow that energy to flow, then you're in an energy of receptivity. And that's when the universe aligns with you and brings to you what it is that you're trying to manifest. With this Ascension card, with this Hierophant card, you are ascending out of this energy of conflict, out of this energy of control, out of this energy of deception. And deception is lack. Deception is forcefulness. Deception is that control mindset. You're ascending out of that here. Let's see if we can get another layer. Spirit, is there anything else we need to know? Spirit, is there anything else we need to know? Okay. And one more. There's my Union card, the Three of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Okay, what I like about this spread, take a look at the spread for a second. Let me fix that. Look at this at the top. This is what you are manifesting. This is your best and highest timeline. This is that abundance. This is that next phase of ascension that you're moving into. And all of this is what you're clearing. Remember in the beginning when I was talking about how there's some layers that are coming up to the surface? This is the subconscious stuff that you're clearing to ascend to this higher level of life, experience, your journey, to this higher version of you. This is what you're ascending into, ascending out of this. With the Five of Pentacles, the World, the Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Wands, what's happening here is you're moving out from the cold, moving out of this energy of abandonment and neglect and rejection, moving out of this energy, they just said, of separation, and moving into this energy of oneness. And as you're doing this, you're coming forward to each other, to your sacred partner, because you are remembering that you are one together. So now you're coming forward in this truth with this clarity that separation is but an illusion. Separation does not exist, that you are always one. Again, with the world, moving out of this separate energy into one of unity consciousness. And that enables you to take action to ascend into this energy, to bring your wishes down into the physical, to make it much more tangible. Yeah. Okay, yeah. What you're doing is you are transforming your wishes. This is exactly the energy I was getting. I thought Ten of Pentacles might come up, but this is exactly what I was getting. Making your wishes become tangible. Working on taking action through this transformation. This, you're putting an end to this. You're putting an end to conflict. You're putting an end to deception. You're putting an end to old habits, mindsets, beliefs, trauma, heartbreak, anything that was holding you back, keeping you from ascending. You're putting an end to separation consciousness and becoming one with the world now. This is an understanding that you are one with all. That is what fifth dimensional consciousness and above is all about. It's recognizing that you are interconnected with all. And because you're interconnected with all, especially with your counterpart, you're not separate. And even if you're not seeing communication, or if you're seeing some kind of lack in the physical, move out of that energy of lack and recognize that you have everything within yourself. That is how this transformation takes place. And that is how you manifest it in the physical with the pentacles here. By your work, your soul growth, your effort, you taking action. Divine masculine, divine feminine, it doesn't matter. You hold both energies within you. And so if your masculine energy within you as a divine feminine is asking you to take the lead, to speak up in your connection, follow that truth. If divine masculine, if you're being asked in your feminine energy to express yourself emotionally, follow that truth. You hold both energies within you. And inner union is about coming into balance with that, realizing that you are not separate. And most importantly, what they're saying is it is safe for you to be who you are, wholly who you are with each other, with your divine counterpart. It is safe for you to express yourself, divine masculines, in your emotions, to be vulnerable and open and honest with your emotions to your divine feminine. Divine feminine, it is safe for you to take action towards your divine masculine, to take the lead sometimes in the connection, because that is your masculine energy. You embody both. You are whole within both. And so don't be afraid to speak your truth. Don't be afraid to take the lead. Don't be afraid, because you are safe in this connection. And once you understand that there is no separation within this connection, that you are safe to love each other so fully and dearly, to cherish each other and honor each other in this connection, guess what? That then ripples out to the entire world, where you recognize it is safe to be open and loving and honest with the world, with each other, with all. I hear you guys talking about commitment. I hear you guys asking about that. You can be safe with your sacred partner. You're meant to be with your sacred partner. Some other readers might not believe that, but I truly believe that you are meant to be committed with your sacred partner in some way, shape, or form. Now, it might not look like the old paradigm, because we're transcending out of that. The old template of relationships, we're moving out of that. But ask yourself what your values are. If your values are commitment with one person, monogamy with one person, that can be your sacred partner. That could be a soulmate. Take that as it's resonating for you, what feels right to you. Trust in yourself. But when we're talking about love for all, we're talking about that open heart for all. We're not talking about, you're going to have that lifetime partnership with somebody, because you're still having a human experience. So part of that human experience is maybe wanting to get married, maybe wanting a family, maybe wanting a home life. That's, your lifetime experience. That's that lifetime partnership. But when we're talking about love for all, when we're talking about unity consciousness, we're talking about opening your heart to all, having that love and that compassion for all, and realizing that you're not separate from anyone. You truly are not separate from anyone. We're interconnected with all, because we have that same source energy within all of us. Another way they want me to put it is, remember when I said that everybody's playing a part? The part that you and your divine counterpart might be playing is in a relationship, in a committed relationship, as a mother and a father, or as, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or as husband and wife. Whatever it is, those are just labels. Whatever it is that you want to create for your lifetime experience, for your human experience. This is a sacred love. This is a sacred partnership. But the love, what we've been channeling, is the love that you embody together within that sacred union, within that sacred partnership, that ripples out to affect the entire world. The love that you contain within your partnership extends to all. Okay, so I want to make that clear. There's a difference between what we're talking about on a grander scale as far as unity consciousness and the 3D situation, your 3D relationship, your physical relationship, your lifetime partnership. You know, you can have that monogamous relationship. You can have that commitment, that family life that you dream of, because I know that some of you, that's what you're here for. That's what you're at this reading for. But your relationship with your counterpart is bigger than that. So yes, have that relationship. Yes, dream about that. Yes, manifest that, if that's what you are calling for. But as a whole, sacred union is cosmically bigger, because the love that you embody with your sacred partner expands to affect the entire universe, not just the world, but the entire universe. So, okay, I wanted to make that clear. Okay, you guys, wow, this was not expected. Let me just get a card from your partner. What does your partner want to say to you? We'll bring it down to the 3D level between the two of you now. What does your partner want to say to you? What does your partner want to say to you? What does your partner want to say to you? I do have these decks back in stock. If you guys are interested, I do have these back in stock on my Etsy shop. Volumes 1, 2, and my Conversations with Spirit as well. All right, what do these sacred partners want to say to each other? I want to come in from the cold, ending separation, ending the illusion of separation, and I'm trying to find out who I am. This is that journey of soul growth. And what's interesting about this is it feels like what I was saying in the beginning, where you guys are at the point where you have been on your individual soul growth journeys, finding out who you are, remembering who you are, reawakening to who you are. And now that that's happening, you're coming in from the cold. You're coming into that sacred union. You're converging at that pivotal point of sacred union where you're now doing this together, ending the illusion of separation. We see the soul of each other because you are each other. You are the soul of each other. You are that same energetics. All right. Wow, I have to watch this back and see what the heck I channeled. This felt big. This felt big. All right, you guys, we will be back next week for sure with some more daily energy draws. And I think this is an Ascension energy update. So we'll be back with actually a Sacred Union energy update where we'll be talking about Divine Masculine specifically, Divine Feminine specifically, what's going on in your connection and all that good stuff. But this really felt like this needed to come out as far as an Ascension update. What's happening on the macro level? Remember, your Sacred Union is a part of this because this is the path that you and your Divine counterpart chose to Ascension. So what's happening within your partnership is going to reflect on an ascension, you know, from the higher level of ascension as well. So do make sure that you're understanding and listening and taking all of this in. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and we'll see you soon. Bye.